Okay, so first things first, let me first introduce you who this gentleman is. Mr. Ratnesh Chaturvedi. He has been into corporate for almost more than 30 years. He is a BTech in electronics and telecommunication long back, and then after MBA in finance. And these are just the basic stuff. But apart from this, his contribution to the society on a global platform is tremendous. He's been associated with international consultancies, the HR consultancies, to be precise enough, from the UK. And he's been running his own firm who are contributing in the research. Recently, he has introduced a company, Nanofluidic Research, wherein he has been associated with certain universities and across India, and also he is doing on international level. So let's keep it short and welcome Mr. Ratnesh Chaturvedi. Sir, welcome on BB Talks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very humbled, and it's a really great opportunity to be into BB Talks.
Same here, sir.
My pleasure.
So the first question which I have in 2025, the things are happening like on global stage, like Russia-Ukraine war. We are talking about the USA, Iran, Israel, and the take of India over it, Pakistan, Afghanistan, lots of stuff. So how do you see India coping up with the situation in 2025 on the global stage?
There are a lot of global things which has been happening. There are few things where India is directly not involved, and that is not affecting us much. Like if we talk about the Israel, the situation over there and the war with Hamas, we are directly not involved. If we talk about Ukraine and Russia also, we are mostly neutral. If you see the UN votings, we used to be absconding over there. So we are not in the support, we are not against. But in global phenomena, we say that everything is not war and we need to go by peace things. There are three major things happens which will affect India. Number one, Mr. Trump has imposed 50% tariff in India. Number two, on the background of that, India and China is getting nearer. Our Prime Minister has gone over there and delegations are going. The direct flights which were not there the last 5 years, now after 5 years we have a direct flight to China. And third, if you see the European market, there are two new countries entered into Schengen in last March 2024. One is the Bulgaria and the second is Romania. When the new country comes into Schengen, the European Union puts a lot of money in that country. And also, the different businessmen all across the European Union, they come and make the base into these companies, so putting a lot of money. There are a lot of funds which comes from the other much developed countries into EU, into these two countries.
Okay.
When I talk about much developed, even Bulgaria is 18 times more per capita income than India. So they are developed, they have a big economy. But in comparison with, we talk about the Netherlands, we talk about Germany, we talk about the France, Italy. So all these, there are monies that are coming. So we need to keep focus on three things. One, tariff by USA. Number two, our relation improving with China, which has a big effect. And third, in European Union, two new countries entered into Schengen arena, which will change the entire things.
All right, so the connecting question, definitely you answered the part of my next question which I had prepared. So the next question partly is, how do you see the geopolitics thing happening from India's side? The first thing is this. And when we talk about geopolitics, so are we including the G20 or the SHARC countries, or we are talking about the UNO affiliations? Like, where India stands? Let's say you talked about the Bulgaria, Central Europe mainly. So how Bulgaria welcomes the Indian entrepreneurs and the people who are doing export-import in terms of services and goods. So how Indian government is coping up with this situation in terms of geopolitics? What are the international relations that we can tell to our audience, if let's say if you are looking for an ecosystem being in India, doing business in Europe, so how government supports it?
Fine. So geopolitics, government support, and the new market. Most important for us nowadays to find a new market.
Right.
It's the biggest challenge, where there were a lot of exports which are happening to India, to USA, and those people are actually finding a new market.
Right.
And there is actually a new market in European Union, which in former Bulgaria and Romania, apart from all other countries, even have a lot of scopes so that the people can actually export and import to those countries.
So what are the products that you see as a hotcake from India which can be sold in Europe?
See, Europe is a combined single unique market.
Okay.
you cannot see the Bulgaria as a standalone market. They are connected. There are few kilometers. Greece is there. Few kilometers.
Several
Bulgaria
countries
is there.
around.
Yeah, you just cross the Red Sea.
You can go by road in all those
You can
countries.
go, and there is no checkpoint to it, so you
Okay.
can move freely anywhere. So it's a single unit. When it's a single unit, and you suppose you put apparels, you put the decorative items for the brass, you put decorative items for the wooden,
Okay.
and also Ayurveda products. So all these are in big demand. And fragrance. Fragrance is a very big market in
It's a big
Europe.
market,
It's a big
exactly.
market. And we have our, if you talk about UP, where you must be knowing that our Chief Minister has announced that very soon UP is going to have a
Exactly.
1 trillion market.
1 trillion market, yes.
So it means that when we have a city of fragrance as a Kannauj,
Right.
we have a city of brass as a Muradabad.
Right.
All these has a big market in Europe through Bulgaria. So Bulgaria is the entry point where we can go to Europe. Europe is a big market, and India per se.
Exactly. So you mean to say there is a large market in Europe by connecting all those countries, and you stated about the things which has been manufactured in India since a long.
Yeah.
Do you find any potential in terms of services? My question is regarding to the recent tariff which has happened from the Trump side to India. Like what happened? Like India is been doing things in the international market, especially United States, like TCS, IBM, we have Infosys, Meta, Google. These guys have gone madly tremendous after this layoff which has been happening.
Yeah.
Recently, I have seen a news where the 12,000 employees from the Infosys has been kicked out for no reason. So the service market is about to crash. From US to India, do you find a potential in Europe to establish the same service market to Europe?
Correct. I'll link it with the another Trump decision that if you want a H1 visa for your company, you'll have to put money as a deposit.
Exactly, there's a huge deposit that
It's a
they are
huge
talking
deposit.
about. Yeah.
It's a huge deposit. So it means that our service sector, which was catering to US market, will again be stagnant. That will be a big problem over there.
Exactly.
Not only the manufactured product where there are tariff is 50%, also the service sector which were catering to most of the US market because of little cheap and much better into technology and studies. So those will also be an issue. So now the solution is only one of the biggest market, which is Europe. See, Africa is upcoming market. They may not be that paying capacity, and there will be a demand, but it will come in later. So the only market which Latin America, if you talk about, they have their political problem, as you said, that it's a geopolitical issue.
Exactly.
So geopolitical issues are there, and the Nobel Prize has been given to a lady, which is only shows that it's a geopolitical problem.
Though the Trump was fighting very hard to get it in his own pocket.
Geopolitical problem is there in Latin America. Africa is struggling. The USSR, which was the previous USSR, all those countries are again struggling. If you want to export to say Belarus, now Belarus does not have that much of money, which he used to be when there was USSR. So what is the market which has been left? Now it is the European Union has been left. And you have a very good spot to enter. Bulgaria is the very good spot. So if you talk about the service sector, you talk about the manufacturing sector, there is a crisis which is going on. Nobody is discussing this. You remember you have a 2 ton of a manufactured product which you are sending to US. Now you can't send it. And you can't send it to your neighbor countries also. Bangladesh will not take, Pakistan is not allowed, Nepal is struggling, they cannot take, Sri Lanka is struggling, they can't.
Exactly.
So you can't send it to your neighbors. So there is a big crisis into the service sector, there is a big crisis in manufacturing sector, and the answer is only that you reach to EU and where they need all these things.
Exactly, and they are also welcoming people from the Asian continent open-heartedly, because as you mentioned earlier at the beginning of the interview, you have been running a Asia consultancy, and also you are one of the owner of the company which has been established in Bulgaria, Central Europe.
Yeah.
So just a question which is adjacent to the current topic that we are discussing upon. We cannot ignore in this interview about the artificial intelligence, the AI, because this is the AI age. And in AI age, how do you see on a global platform things are affecting? Because India is nowhere leading in artificial intelligence sector. We are not good at machine learning. By having said that, because the OpenAI, who is the mother of artificial intelligence, a whistleblower in this industry, OpenAI belongs to US, and then Meta, the second largest company, and then we have a few other companies like DeepSeek and all from China. Where is India? So what is the significant role of AI to become a $5 trillion economy in India by 2030, and what is the impact on global stage?
Very interesting question. We need to understand these things. Most of the IT evaluation happened into the US and mostly into the Silicon Valley.
Right.
And it is true. If you talk about you all names.
Exactly. All credit goes to California and Texas.
These two.
Exactly.
But we also have a Perplexity.
Yeah.
And which is Indian grown, and it's a very good AI if you use it in comparison with ChatGPT.
Agreed.
When it comes to China, see, problem with China is what is happening over there, nobody knows. The news comes fabricated. The video comes fabricated. So if you see some video and you say, wow, maybe it is not correct. Maybe they are not at that level.
They have kept a strong isolation.
And what is they are doing it not known. Still, when you talk about the China, people are little susceptible, whether it will be good quality, not good quality, happening, not happening, whether we need to, having said that, we have a huge export-import with China. My experience when I go to Central Europe, which is Slovakia, Germany, Hungary, Czech Republic, when we go to Eastern Europe, where I have a company, which is Bulgaria, Greece, Romania, these are Eastern Europes, the people are looking to India for AI evolution and developments. Because they know that if it comes from the US, it will be costly.
Exactly.
It comes from the China,
we cannot rely on the quality.
So it is the India.
Exactly.
So we need to make an ecosystem so that we actually go full-fledged, all throttle into the AI so that we become a global leader, and we have everything to become a global leader in a cost which US cannot compare, and China will always be susceptible to it. And there is no third country which the world is looking for the AI.
Exactly. So since you talked about China, one of my favorite topic, sir, as far as I know, the China's economy is booming like anything.
Yeah,
they have a $16 trillion economy, and if you compare it with India, they are 5 times richer.
Correct.
Right. So the first thing we came to know about when I researched a bit about China, it's all about their manufacturing ecosystem. Because in China, let's say if you go to China, people are not rushing towards the government jobs. They are not rushing towards the private jobs. They are moreover keen into manufacturing, setting up their small factories, doing what bit of things that can be done. Maybe starting from the mobile cases, covers, screen guards, until the jet. So these guys are manufacturing everything. Can we see these kind of scopes and ecosystem and the support by the government, especially by the current government? And what is your hope towards the people from the government and on a global scale?
See, comparing with China will not be an apple-to-apple comparison. In China, if you conceptualize a project, it will be implemented by hook or by crook. In India, we are a largest democracy in the world.
Exactly.
So we can't follow the China model, which is not possible. Because there are no human rights, which is there in China, although now they are becoming, because then the money is coming.
They're showcasing, but they are still very much, communism is already.
It is very difficult. In a democratic setup, the Indian government is really doing very fine to create an ecosystem where people actually could do a very good in this. But still, as you said, that you talk about the 16 trillion economy for the China. I've heard somewhere it is 19 trillion also.
Yeah, this might have increased.
When data comes from the China, you are never sure that what is the actual the economy which comes. Although there are international agencies which are there into China and they are going in. I've been into Guangzhou. I've been there for 7 days. I was landed into Shanghai and then was into the Guangzhou. And Guangzhou looks like the manufacturing hub of the world. There is a market, you find Africans, you find Latin American, you find US, you find the EU people and Indian people and the Indian subcontinent people. So everybody, whatever they want to purchase, the China is the answer. And if you remember in 90s, 90 to 2000, there was huge electronic market in India.
Exactly.
Noida was the hub for it. All these factories were being eaten by the evolution into China, because you manufacture over here and you get a cheaper products in China, even putting the logistic also.
Exactly. People will
So
move towards
it
that.
was a manufacturing hub for the world in China. Now coming to the IT, yes, they are doing very good in IT. There is no question in it. Because most of the apps which were very, very popular in US, probably they have banned and they have made their own.
TikTok was
So
banned in India.
they have made their own apps. That's fine. But Indian ecosystem has a very complex issues. The political, as you said, is again one thing. We have huge population, and talking about the competition into the university level is not that much. See, I personally find it the one thing in India why we are not that much coming as a economic ecosystem.
Right.
And coming to as much as the USA and China and some other like Germany and the other countries are coming. See, we have very good technologies. There is no issue in it. Ecosystem are also good. Our universities are not the best, but they are into
People are coming all around the world in Indian universities.
The problem is that initially competition has not been put on us. Our education system does not produce the knowledge which can be manufactured or can be put into service sector, which could become a superior things in it. Because we are prone to doing our schooling, then the graduation, then the post-graduation, then somebody goes to PhDs, and we don't know what we are doing it and what is...
Exactly. People are rushing towards their highest qualification. In fact, my brother is also a PhD, but things which they expect before doing PhD, I mean, right after graduation and then post-graduation, then PhD, it's an endless path. I mean, people are not being appreciated by their qualification in India. I mean, people are being appreciated by your earnings, by your social status. So these things are quite different from China and other countries.
And if you talk about our backbone is the Polytechnic and the engineering college.
Yeah, ITI, Polytechnic and BTech.
But if you talk about the ITI and Polytechnic, their situation is not very good. They are not into innovations, there are not much education which is happening over there. So technical education is not that up to mark, which is creating competition in the lieu of development vis-a-vis the USA, China. And
that is basically stagnant that you want to say that we are not going towards the innovation.
Maybe you are studying history very well, geography very well, but that is a limited scope that will not come to the manufacturing part of it. So technical education and competition. See, remember, and it is a very sad to say that in a country of 140 crores, there are 80 crore people who takes 5 kg of ration from the government. This is not a competition. This will destroy. So you need to create a competition, a good ecosystem. We are the largest democracy, good government. See, when we go to the Europe and we say, I'm from India, he knows that politically stable country. It is not like Pakistan, which changes the government with so political stability is very, very important. Modi ji is doing one thing, which is giving a message to everybody that we are politically stable.
Yeah, they are indeed politically stable.
It's a very important. When a person from the Europe wants to put say 10 billion into India and it is not politically stable, probably they will not put it.
Exactly,
so
that's one of
government is doing a fantastic job. Ecosystem is there. University is putting things into it. Create competition and then stop these freebies. This is not helping us. And make them so competent that they go out of India and then compete over there. Their products could compete, their service could compete, their personality could compete, their knowledge could compete, and then only we will be progressing. The whole world is there looking for the India, for the people, for the service sector, for the manufacturing sector. They're looking to us.
Let's say India is a developing nation, that we all agree. And definitely we can expect a good amount of growth and becoming a developed nation maybe 3 years, 4 years down the line.
Sure.
Since you have been to many countries that you have stated, and as far as I know, so what is the basic difference between a developed and a developing country like India? What is the basic? I mean, in just 2-3 points, if you can exaggerate.
See, differences are, we need to see the background of it. So we are comparing, suppose a developed country, I take Germany as a developed country where I've been to, and India. Now you are comparing 140 crore people to 2 crore people. When we talk about the UK or we talk about Bulgaria where I have a company, the entire country has a population of 55 lakhs. And we are 55 lakhs in Noida. There are 55 lakhs people on road in India every time. So this is where the competition cannot be apple to apple. This is one. Second is, when you talk about the developed country, it means per capita income.
Exactly.
See, per capita income comes where 80% of your population is putting competition and giving the products and services which is comparable to anywhere in the world. 80% of our people are taking 5 kg of ration and they are happy. So in this way, being a developed will be a very late phenomenon.
So, sir, the last thing, I would like to put a little focus on the initiative that you have taken. You have recently incorporated a venture that is an Indo-USA venture, that is nanofluidics, and you are the chief operating officer. So, would you like to say a little about your new venture?
So, nanofluidics Research Private Limited is a joint venture of one of the pharmaceutical company from USA. JNU, it has been spinned off and incubated in JNU. And very good innovator, and my brother, Professor Dr. Ratnesh Chaturvedi, is also involved in it.
Okay.
And I involved as a chief operating officer. We have a state-of-art training, nanofluidics training facility in Greater Noida on the back of the Venice Mall.
Okay.
And we are also intend to produce enzymes over there.
Okay.
Apart from the RNA sequencing, DNA sequencing, transcriptometry, and also Python for the biology. So
Okay.
all those, the courses are being run over there. So it will be a technology into bioscience, where a lot of the students which are there into these private colleges and the government
Universities
colleges,
and all, right?
universities,
Yeah.
so they may not be getting that much of the lab
Exposure,
knowledge.
yeah.
It's called wet lab knowledge. So they are not getting it wet lab knowledge. So we are providing in that. In our journey, I'm thankful to the Max Healthcare, which is one of the biggest healthcare company in India, has been collaborated with us. And now we are starting a project, a training project with Max at the next batch from the 15th of November, where it will be called Max Nanofluidics Training Product. And I'm also the operating officer for that, and their team is also being involved. We have done so many meetings and things have been finalized. So Nanofluidics is a platform which gives technology a boost into the bioscience for the new, the people who are being trained as the biotech, the BTech biotechnology, and the BSc biotechnology, MSc biotechnology. Those people need to have a wet lab knowledge so that they could be employable. So our entire aim is to give a manufacturing feel to them by producing enzymes, by developing the bacteria, doing the RNA analysis, the DNA analysis, the single cell analysis, and all those things. And also at the same time, training to these youngsters so that they become employable.
Okay.
And they could be employable. I'm also thankful to one of the biggest company in this field is High Media, where representative came us and we met. It was a wonderful interaction. And they say to us, Mr. Ratnesh, you train the young people. If they are employable, we'll take N number of people. We need 1,000 people, but that has to, we don't want to teach them and then waste our 6 months. You train them. If they have knowledge, they can do it. It's a MOU which will be signed with High Media so that we can give them the attempt.
And also, I have got to know about like people. I mean, the students from Galgoti universities are. I mean, they are also visiting to your center. So, sir, my very good takeaway out of this interview, in which I also want you to share in front of my audience, that you have been into technical stuff, having said like your BTech and then MBA. In finance, and then on a global platform you have represented companies from India and you have established your own, and then into research and development, training, a lot of stuff, a lot of verticals. What do you like most out of it?
See, mostly now my passion is to see that how the most of the Indian manufacturers, service sector people, the people who does not have a manufacturing also, they could also could come to a new market which is most valid market as of now. So US is not a valid market, Latin America has a geopolitical problem, the Africa is not exactly the market of now, it will be future market. USA and the surroundings are not good market, India and surroundings are not good market. Yeah, apart from India is a good market, but if you see the sharp countries, we are not a good market.
Exactly.
So I want to help everyone, whether you are manufacturer, whether you are service sector, whether you want to do something where you want to earn, and the market is UE. So I invite everybody to become a part of our product display, the exhibition, which we are doing in Europe, and we are inviting so many countries, people over there, so that you sell your product. You can take product from anywhere, whether you are manufacturer, you are distributor, you are most welcome. We will be there to help you. Our team will be dedicated team will be there, which will be helping you in each and every step and make this a very, very good business. You could be from biotechnology, you could be from IT, you could be from the manufacturing sector. You could only be a person where you want to have an establishment into EU. That is also most welcome. So this is my passion as of now, to make a bridge between India and Europe through Bulgaria, through my company, so that the both country could benefit, it's a mutual benefit, and I'll be happy to help it out. N number of people who wanted to come ahead and to explore the new market and the new venture avenues, new joint ventures, new collaborations will be helping out in everything.
Exactly. So it's my pleasure indeed to have you on my show, BB Talks. And on Bharat Bhushan Talk Show, we bring in the people who are making the changes across the globe. And Mr. Ratnesh Chaturvedi is a known name right now in India and especially in Europe. And his initiatives, which he has been doing, and since the new venture that we have already talked about, the nanofluidics, he's altogether into a different domain. But right after all these stuff, he has a zeal and a passion to represent India in European continent by inviting these small, big and large manufacturers all over the India and showcase your project to UK. All right. So thank you so much for coming on my show, sir. And it's a really pleasure indeed to have you on my show. And audience, I promise you to bring another very important guest in my next episode. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
Thank you very much. The privilege is all mine. Thank you.